Gary here from MrG Shave, back for my Wednesday straight shave. I think this is straight shave number 55. What am I using today? Let's start off with a bowl. I'm using my Giles Shaving Co. Pedestal bowl. This is my favourite out of all of my bowls. Love using this, and if I had my way I'd use this all the time. Love this one. The brush today is my Simpsons Trafalgar. So T3 I think this is. So Simpsons Trafalgar, lovely brush this. Really nice. And then the razor, the straight that I'm using today, you may not have been able to see in the intro picture because I couldn't get the stands to fit in here because it's so tight. I don't know whether you can see that, but I just can't get them in there, so I had to lie it almost flat. But it is my Celebrated, Wade & Butcher Celebrated. I think this is the 8/8, so it's a stunning razor. One of my favourite straight razors. It's got natural horn scales. So yeah, absolutely stunning. Love this. Real quality from the past. So that's what I'm using today. I think I'm just going to get it straight on with the shave, to be honest. I've got everything ready this time. Possibly not. I've just got to fill this bottle with a bit of water, which I've now done. So let's get the visage wet. So how's your week been so far? I hope it's going well and that, you know, everything's set to finish with a nice climax at the end of the week on Friday with a beer, a celebratory beer or a glass of wine, whatever it is whatever your tipple is. Right. Okay. Yeah, this is why I stopped, because I've got to lather up, but I'm going to carry on unusually. This is Aromabar it's shaving oil. I use it as a pre-shave oil. I love using this with when I'm doing straight shaves. I just find it works, and I will certainly replace it once I've used it up. Really nice. I actually really enjoy the scent on it. So today, and as I say, I'm going to have to lather up, but I'm using yet another, this is the last but one sample that I've got from Seaside Soap and Skincare, Carl and Samantha. Now I bought these samples on recommendation from one of my subscribers, so these weren't provided free, but nevertheless I'm using them all, and it is Pine and Vetiver. So I haven't used this. There's one that's very similar to this, I think, but I haven't used this one before, and I just gently open it up. I'll show you now how the samples are packaged. They come in like wax paper, like that. You open them up, and in there is the sample. So, decent sized sample. Oh, this has got a lovely scent. This is like walking through a pine forest. Really woody, and really, there's a lot of pine there, pine needles, and almost sort of wood bark, if you like. Really nice. So all I do then is I take my little dosing spoon and I will cut off a small piece like that. So there you go. That's all I use. So that's the soap after I've removed the sample, and then I've placed that in there. Actually, doesn't look like a lot, but we'll make do with that. Now this is a semi-soft soap. It's just on the border of being called a crope, I think, but it is a hard soap. At least in the samples, that's the way it is. I think I might need to add some more. This is only a fraction of what I'd normally use, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Just a tiny little bit. So I've only added another, it's down there, a tiny little bit. That's better coverage. I usually go for a thin layer across the base of this bowl. Then I know I've got enough. So let's get the Simpsons in the water. And what I've started to do now is I put 2 sprays in with the soap before as I get the brush wet. Just get a little bit of water in there. Squeeze out the brush, a couple of shakes, and then we go for it. So you haven't seen this soap being lathered before, so it does take a little bit of water. It's usually about 12 sprays. It's had 2, so let's say 14 sprays then, and it goes really thick. Don't know whether you can see the texture of that. But it goes really thick. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this going, and I just swirl back and forth, and then I'll go back and forth like that and up and down a few times. And it's gone really thick again. It's difficult to lather at that angle because all the moisture goes down to the side of the bowl, so you're not actually getting it into the soap. But you get what I'm doing. Another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you know, I like to have a fairly wet lather here. For using it when I'm using a straight razor, you just get more slickness when the lather is quite thin and very well hydrated. But yeah, so a favourite topic of us Brits, what do you think that is? Yeah, the weather. What's happened to the sun? It's gone today, well and truly gone, and the warmth has gone. Apparently by Thursday we're going to get down to -5 overnight, so that's going to be interesting, because a lot of people have been out and planting plants for the summer and stuff like that. They're probably all going to be very busy in the next day or two trying to pull them back in again because the frost will destroy them. Another 4 sprays. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my 12 sprays, and I'm certain that's going to be enough. So that's had 14 sprays in total, including the 2 before I started lathering up. And this really is very well hydrated. This is going to be quite thin, but that's fine. The scent coming off this, absolutely beautiful. Pine trees, wood bark, just really nice. It is just like walking through a pine forest. Fantastic. I've lost a hair. Wow. Let's see if I can get that out. No, missed it. Oh no, there it is. right on the edge. There it is. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, but it's there. That's off the brush, not off my beard or my face. Right, I think that's ready. So there's the lather, quite thin, but perfect for what I need it for. Now, somebody asked in the last straight shave, I think it was, that I did last Wednesday, what I'm doing off to the side, so basically I put this along the side of my wash basin, just on the edge, and I just wipe the blade on it. As simple as that. As I go through the passes and as I need to sort of remove the soap, I just wipe the blade on that. It's a damp cloth. It just sits there, and then I'll rinse it off during the shave. But yeah, I forgot to set up the other camera angle, which I promised to do, but maybe I'll do it next time. Right, okay, so let's get some more water on the face. I've already got the pre-shave on. And let's go for it. Oh, blooping everywhere already. That's always a good sign. Oh God, I'm losing it everywhere. I really do like to hydrate my soaps when it's dropping everywhere. It's ridiculous. When using a straight razor, it just makes the whole surface to be shaved really smooth and slick. There we are. So that's ready. I'm ready for the shave. Dry off the hands. It's more important to keep your hands dry as possible when you're using a straight razor, because you don't want soap or anything that's going to add slickness to your hands when you're holding onto a blade like that. That's a beast. That's a barber's notch blade at the end. Beautiful, beautiful piece of kit. I love it. So here we go. Spine down, edge down, and then bring the spine out a little bit until you get the edge. Fantastic. Another one of John June's edges. I managed to get soap almost in the hinge, which you really don't want to do. Oh, cut myself. Didn't feel that. I think that'll stop. That must be just a tiny little nick. Must have been a bump or something there. Let's go to the other side. Spine down, edge down. Bring the edge out, the spine out a little bit until you feel the edge on your face. Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Perfect. Right, let's try and get some of that soap off the, you know, I keep forgetting the anatomy, but this bit here, I call it sort of the shank or whatever, not the shank, I forget what it's called now. But I keep the soap just dribbles down here into the hinge, so you've got to make sure you try and keep that clear. I'll put the name of the anatomy of that blade up there. I sometimes, you know how sometimes you get an absolute grey out, it's sort of brain fog as they call it. I should know that, and I know all the bits of the anatomy of the razor, but I've just forgotten for 1 minute what that is. But I'll put it up there, or it'll come to me later on in the video. So here we go. Let's add a bit more water. Not a lot, because this is. Oh, I haven't done under there. I haven't done under the beard. This is a bit overhydrated, I think. A little bit too much water, but I'll carry on because I know this soap tends to thicken up as you leave it. So here goes. Oh, fantastic. Love this brush. Really good. So, have anybody, anybody watching this, have you started straight shaving because of any of my videos or Matty's or Johan's video? Have you actually started yet? I know of one, and I'll let that person shout himself out, but if he wants to. But I do know one person has started as a result of either my video. I'm not going to say it was purely my video. I think it was probably a combination of my videos and Matty's videos, or Johan's videos. But yeah, has anybody else started? And how are you getting on? Okay, so we're going across the grain on this side is straight up. And just so I can get the angle past the beard, I always just clean out the edges. Soap off my hands. Great. There's still a fair bit of growth left, but it's getting there, and that's against the grain for me. So across the grain on this side is as you would expect. Fantastic. I do enjoy shaving like this. I really do. I'm not going to add any more water. This soap does not need more water. Get a bit of volume in it. See, it stopped. That one there was only a small graze. As I say, I didn't really feel it. Fantastic. This, as I say, the scent strength on this Seaside soap just builds and builds and builds and gets stronger and stronger and stronger as you go through each pass. It's really excellent stuff. And as I've been using it over the past, the only time I don't use this soap at the moment is my head shaves. I'm just trying to get through all the samples, and then I'll be going on to some other soaps that have arrived in the den. But I wanted to give these a good run so that you all got a, you know, a good impression of the different scents. That's why I bought them all. I think it cost me 30 quid for all the samples, which I think there were 8 samples, so you work that out how much per sample. And they're decent samples. I'll get at least 6 to 8 shaves out of them, I would think, out of each sample. So here we go, against the grain. Yeah, it definitely sucks in some of the hydration, this soap. Fantastic. Yeah, that's done the job. Right. Are there any, out of those of you out there that actually have straight razors already, are there any razors that you particularly, you'd particularly like to have? I think I waited for this one to turn up for sale. You know, one in that condition with that sort of handle. I waited over a year before that came up. But I just set an alert for anything Wade & Butcher Celebrated on eBay, and I get an email once a month, maybe once every couple of months for one. But until I found this one, none were in the condition that I really wanted. And this was sort of minimum condition. I've seen some of these in far better condition. Matty's got one, Johan's got one, and they're really beautiful and shiny. This has still got some pitting to it, but that's fine. I don't mind a little bit of history, but I just don't want it to be completely covered in black marks. That's really good. That's so close. You can still hear it, but that's because it's getting so close. Right, so this is the point where I clean off the cloth. So I've wiped the blade on the cloth. That gives you an idea. So I'll just put it in my little bowl here, rinse it off. Because I have no space left. So we're going to go for the pickups. A little bit here, more so on this side than this. There's next to nothing there. And then the usual culprits down there. But everywhere else, a little bit up here. Going to try and catch that. But that's about it. Usual spots for whether I'm using a DE or an SE or a straight or a shavette. it's nearly always the same result. Now I am going to add a little bit more water. Because we are on the pickup pass, and this soap has definitely absorbed some of the water in it. It's not dripping anywhere now, whereas it was at the beginning. Right, here we go. Pickup pass. Needs some alum really. It's not. It's too slick to hold. Here we go. That's it. It's not BBS, but that's as far as I can get it. Get some alum on the fingers. Beautiful shave this, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you know, really if I want to get there, I've got to use a DE. It's just one of those things with shaving with a straight razor, you just can't get to some places unless somebody else is doing it for you. Right. That's it. Perfect. So I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Time for the cold rinse. Skin feel fantastic. Really, really good. Let's get the cold water going. Here we go. Oh. Even though it's not cold outside, it's definitely getting colder. This cold water is brilliant when you splash it on. Oh. And well, that little weeper has stopped. And I actually had two little ones over here which didn't really identify themselves until after I'd started the cleanup. So, right, so here we go. I've wiped all the cold water off. I've got to put some more on because I'm going to use the alum. Right, here we go. Bit of a sting, not much, in one spot there. A little bit there, all sort of 1 or below, 1 out of 10. Maybe a 2 out of 10 here, but that's normal for me because I always try and get as close as I can. And again, the same spot on the other side. A little bit here where I do the pickups. I would say overall 1 to 2 out of 10 in sting, even where I did the pickups. So that's a good result. Excellent result. And it's already stopped burning, so I'm going to wipe it straight off. Where did that whistle come from? I can't even repeat that. Do that again even if I try. So good. My favourite, Boots Tea Tree and Witch Hazel. Excellent stuff this for post shave, especially when you've had a couple of minor nicks. Helps with the repair. And it's an antiseptic, a natural antiseptic. So really does the job. No real burn from this. Sometimes you get a burn, but not this time. And then I'm going for Arko Gold today. Just fancied using it. No particular reason. Oh yeah. Great scent. I think this is supposed to be an homage to Brute, but I actually think it's better than Brute. But there we are. And then my face is really cooling down now. And then I'm going to use, I didn't put this in the intro photo, I forgot to put it in, but it's actually quite difficult to get this in because it's such a big tub. Nivea Men Cream post shave. Well, it's not post shave specifically, but it's great stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. So all I use is about that much. Rub it between my hands and just get it on the visage. Fantastic. Right, that's the end of the shave, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, do leave comments below if you've taken up this. I would say this is a bigger rabbit hole than traditional wet shaving in terms of DE razors and stuff. Getting into these is, yeah, I think it's a bigger rabbit hole. It costs more money, I think. These razors aren't cheap when you get the Celebrated or the ones that are sought after. They're you know, they'll cost you a fair bit of money, but they're so worth it, the history behind these. But you can get cheaper ones. You can get them for 20 or 30 pounds, some vintage ones. You can get a strop for about the same money if you really want to. W&B is my contact for strops. He's really good. I've got 3 or 4 of his strops, I think. So yeah, he's worthwhile looking up. If I remember, just lately I do the editing and I forget to add all the links, so I'm going to add all the links this time. I'm certainly going to try anyway. But if I don't, just leave me a message in the comments. Add the links, you idiot. Right, anyway, so it's bye-bye from me, and it's bye-bye from this fantastic Celebrated razor, the Wade and Butcher. And yeah, really enjoyed using that. So I will see you now on Friday for my next head shave. Don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I will be using a new cream to the den and something that was really cheap as well. So recommended by another subscriber. So you know, you'll find out what that is on Friday. So see you then. Bye now.